go across the community. Now, this is probably still the debris ball from that. It is not as intense as some of those lavender ones we've seen. This is hail. So the tornado now has passed north and east of Fairview. Let's take a look at the velocities with this. It still has a very well-defined tornado vortex signature. The velocities have not actually quite caught up to the precipitation pattern. So this is just before it went to the just a couple miles west of Fairview. It now has pushed a little bit to the north and east of Fairview. And I took a 3D approximation to this storm. If you were looking at it from the south, this is the tornado. With some of the big storm tops. So if you were a chaser out there, and I've made the outer edge of the cloud invisible here so you could see in, this would be that big cone-shaped tornado on the ground there in the area near Cullman, Alabama. So dangerous storm is in progress in that area. Then we have some additional dangerous storms in progress as well. We've had a report of a tornado near Rienzi. That's the farthest north storm in Mississippi. There's additional storms looking at very, very intense, basically all across Mississippi now. One of them near Houston, Mississippi. That's going to head toward the Aberdeen area. Well-defined hook echo on that storm with the possibility of a tornadoes there. You can see the tornado vortex signature very strongly now just to the south and east of the Houston area. So dangerous storms there. New tornado has been reported in Arkansas out along the cold front. We've had a report of a tornado near Bay by law enforcement. That storm swirling its way and with a gust front pushing east. So tornado now would be very close to the Lake City area. Heading toward the Leachville area, and I believe this is the Mississippi line, so it too about ready to move into the Mississippi region. So dangerous storms. Take a look here. I'll go back over and slide over to the Philadelphia, Mississippi area. We have a couple of storms there. The one that had hit Philadelphia, Mississippi has gone up to the Shuqualak area, has weakened a little bit. Still off to the east now of Union, Mississippi, southeast of Philadelphia. Very strong possible tornado heading toward the area south of DeKalb in Mississippi. Let's go now to Chris Warren, who's in Chattanooga.
And Dr. Forbes, we are keeping a close eye on the sky. In fact, we take a look here. We are on the north bank here of the Tennessee River, looking off to the west and then directly to the south here. That is where we have Chattanooga. You can see this is downtown Chattanooga. The aquarium's over there with the glass buildings, which we think we saw a lightning bolt hit earlier. But over here, if you look off into the distance, this is over to the west over here. Now you see those hills out there. Those are kind of our indicator. We look that way and we start to see the clouds come over the top of these hills, and when they get really low and then when those hills disappear, that means that rain is getting really close. Then when we start to see the lightning around, that is when we take cover and we head into the truck. So we can see by our environment, looking around all of the different action here, and even over beyond the city, we can see another hill, one of the taller hills around Chattanooga, where we also see some of the low clouds starting to sit down on top of that. So we're keeping a close eye onto the sky. It's hard to pick up on camera, but these clouds are moving pretty fast overhead. So conditions throughout the day, as they have been, Nick and Vivian, have been changing very quickly. Sunshine one minute, strong storms the next.
Yeah, we're watching them on radar. Thank you very much, Chris, and stay safe.
Well, stay with us. The national 7-day forecast is next.
And we continue to cover severe weather. Stay with us. This is Grayson County, Kentucky, where they're dealing with flooding, of course, from all of the heavy rain and damage, actually, from a possible tornado. We'll be right back.
The problem with traditional longweed killers, new weeds keep coming back, and you have to treat them again and again and again. It's frustrating and
bag on every Delta flight.
And on Thursday, cloudy with gusty winds, high 65. Winds south-southwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. And Thursday night, showers early, maybe a rumble of thunder, low 54. Chance of rain 80%. Our week ahead.
It's another particularly dangerous situation. PDS watches out for portions of Mississippi and Alabama until 10 o'clock this evening here in Alabama, 7 p.m. for Mississippi. Watches also up through western New York, western Pennsylvania, down into Virginia.
And of course, watching all of these severe weather watches, the tornado watches, and severe weather, let's bring in our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes.
And I'm here with Carl Parker. We'll be teaming up to cover the storms this afternoon. We've had a tornado that has hit Cullman, Alabama. We'll be bringing you some video of that. A very spectacular, very scary type tornado. We've already had tornadoes confirmed Cleveland, Tennessee this morning in EF2. Here is that video. So take a look at the big cone type tornado with a spectacular horizontal rolling motion. We sometimes talk about the vertical wind shear, the changing winds with height that can produce the type of circulation that allow you to get tornado. In this case, we not only have the tornado, but a horizontal roll type tornado. I have never seen anything quite that spectacular. It's a big, long thing, a part of the overall rotation. Here you see it spiraling up into the outer edge of the wall cloud. So a horizontal tornado, tapping some of that inflow, the wind shear at low levels, and then it turns into the whole tornado. So that little horizontal tornado was part of what was feeding the rotating wall cloud. And then the big tornado obviously in progress. This was just a few moments ago around the Cullman area. Now this is a big tornado. You can see here the circulation all the way over to the edge, all the way over into here. So, and here we've started over again. We had times of seeing that horizontal roll with circulation all the way over, almost filling the screen. Now it gets a corkscrew. We call that a helical motion, little vortices and swirls that are embedded there. A couple multiple funnels swirling the way in that helix circulation. A spectacular tornado, a piece of debris there, that black, there's some pieces of debris that are spiraling about this tornado hurling out. It can't follow the tight circulation of the tornado, but it's rising. It's not falling. This one finally has gotten far enough away from the tornado's updraft. No, it's still rising. Look at that. Debris rising, whereas it's heavy. This is not supposed to rise. That's no piece of paper. That's probably an entire house roof that we're seeing there. So spectacular video. Here you see the little wisps of dust that are coming in and then spiraling counterclockwise about the tornado as it swirls its way across the area near Cullman. That's North Birmingham, Alabama.
So Greg, in addition to lateral motion in this tornado, you're also getting a great deal of upward vertical motion as well.
Yeah, these tornadoes have often 100 mile per hour or faster upward motions. Here you see a little piece of dust and cloud that was going straight up. There's that piece of debris that began near the ground. It's gone up into the air now and continues to rise up into the air, probably even a whole house roof for hundreds or even 1,000 or 2,000 feet in that case. Here's that horizontal roll that's part of the generation process of the rotation for the parent thunderstorm, spiraling its way in, and multiple funnels out at the edge of this big tornado. Spectacular series of different scales on the tornado.
Greg, we're also hearing about a tornado coming just south of Jackson now into the Terry area and near Terry High School there, moving to the northeast. These storms are really hauling too. They're moving, what, 50 miles an hour?
Yeah, some of them have been 55 miles per hour. And here is Jackson. We had looked at that one earlier. It did not have as strong a rotation as some of the others, but now it is, just like all of the others, it has begun to rotate very, very rapidly.
So how long do you think this is going to go on? How long through the night do you think we'll see this kind of thing?
Well, I think it's probably going to go all night, just gradually tapering off. It'll be marching from where it is right now across Mississippi and Alabama and parts of Tennessee into Georgia, then rolling its way across the Carolinas. It won't get totally offshore yet, though. We'll still have eastern parts of North Carolina, southeast Virginia, and eastern parts of South Carolina into southeast Georgia and Florida, yet with a tornado threat tomorrow.